Number 10. Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. Miley Cyrus admitted that she was dating her last song co-star Liam Hemsworth in 2010, but their relationship hasn't exactly been seamless. In June of 2010, Miley denied rumors of their budding romance, but months later, in August, it was confirmed that they were dating. What followed was a rocky relationship to say the least. The pair broke up, got back together, and then broke up a few more times before announcing another reconciliation in April 2011. And then, in June 2012, Miley announced her engagement to Liam, but within months of getting her beautiful engagement ring, reports surfaced that Liam was cheating on her. It was difficult to say whether or not the stars have completely moved on from their on-again, off-again relationship, but it's clear that they are both doing much better apart. Number 9. Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher. These two called it quits in 2011 after 6 years of marriage, but their relationship is still a hot topic among fans. The Golden Globe nominee and the star of that 70s show began dating in 2003 and tied the knot 2 years later. The Hollywood power couple quickly became known for their 15-year age difference. When asked about the age gap in an interview, Demi said, "He was 25, I was 40. However, everything came to an end in 2011, 6 years after the wedding. Ashton allegedly cheated on Demi with Sarah Lyle and their divorce was finalized in 2013. But Ashton clearly took the breakup to heart, as in 2018 he went on a podcast with Dak Shepard and talked about how he hadn't eaten for almost a week after coming out of a toxic relationship and marriage. Number 8. Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee. Now that an all-new TV series called Pam and Tommy is being released, it's worth taking a look at what went so wrong with this iconic couple and where the drama in their relationship really started. Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee first met on New Year's Eve in 1994, and only 4 days of knowing each other, the two got married in Cancun, Mexico on February 19, 1995. Instead of exchanging rings, the couple tattooed each other's names around their fingers for a more permanent symbol of their love. However, things started going downhill for them in 1998 after Lee was arrested for hitting Anderson while she was holding their infant son. Anderson filed for divorce not long after and requested custody of their 2 sons. The two briefly reconnected after Lee served 6 months in prison for the incident. And number 7, Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick. This decade-long romance was very well documented on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And although fans loved Scott's quick-witted, snarky humor, it was obvious that he had trouble remaining committed to Kourtney. He was also a self-confessed hard partier and would often be seen binge drinking on and off the show. Kourtney, on the other hand, was always known as the more laid-back, mellow one in the relationship, and was completely unable to keep up with his hard partying ways. The pair eventually called things off for good after Scott went on another party binge just weeks after the birth of their 3rd child together, and photos of him getting close with other women surfaced online. Number 6, Britney Spears and Kevin Federline. Britney's infamous marriage to backup dancer Kevin Federline, also known as K-Fed, was a rocky one that did not end well for either party. The couple first crossed paths in April of 2004 and got married later that year after spending only a few short months together. It's worth noting that at the time, he was expecting his 2nd child with ex-fiancé Shah Jackson. The pair eventually welcomed 2 sons of their own before she filed for divorce in November 2006. The relationship was clearly a toxic one, as Spears quickly went into a downward spiral not long after, which resulted in her damaging a paparazzi car and shaving her head. Coming in at number 5, Khloe Kardashian and Lamar Odom. It was pretty much love at first sight when Khloe met NBA player Lamar Odom. The pair tied the knot in September of 2009 after just 1 month of dating in a romantic ceremony that was featured on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. But Khloe's only marriage to Lamar Odom was unfortunately terrible and ended in disaster. Relatively soon into the marriage, it was revealed that not only did Lamar have a serious substance problem, but also admitted to being with countless other women during their relationship. The couple divorced shortly after he was found unconscious in a brothel. Well, it's safe to say that splitting up was for the best. Number 4, Madonna and Sean Penn. Madonna and Sean Penn's relationship first started out on the set of Material Girl in 1985. Both of them had just gotten out of relationships and started off as friends. However, their platonic relationship quickly blossomed into a romantic one, and by August of 1985, the two tied the knot on Madonna's 27th birthday. Their relationship started off good, but things quickly started to get rocky due to Penn's unpredictable outbursts and temper. The actor was said to have a very jealous streak and would fly into fits of rage whenever he saw what looked like other men getting close to Madonna. Eventually, Madonna decided that she had had enough and filed for divorce in December of 1987, later withdrawing the papers before filing again in January of 1989. It has been rumored that the singer suffered many years of verbal and physical violence from Penn, and that was the main reason for their divorce. Number 3. Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. Before meeting Hailey Baldwin, the Canadian pop star was famously linked to Selena Gomez for many years. The pair eventually went public with their relationship in 2011, after making an appearance at the Vanity Fair Oscars party. Many fans shipped the young romance intensely, even opting to call them Jelena as a couple name. But since their relationship was so public, the two had a very difficult time keeping things just between them. There were many accusations of cheating and feelings being hurt left and right. In an interview with Zane Lowe in February of 2020, Bieber even admitted to being reckless while dating Gomez. Rumors of infidelity led to the couple split in 2012, but since then they have gotten back together and broken up countless times, with a final split in March of 2018. Coming in at number 2, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Depp and Amber Heard first met on the set of The Rum Diary, and from there began the start of their toxic love-hate relationship. By early 2012, the two started dating and were married by 2015 during a private ceremony at their home in Los Angeles. But fans around the world were shocked when, only a year later, Heard filed for divorce and obtained a temporary restraining order against Depp, alleging that he had physically abused her during the relationship. Depp denied the allegations, claiming Heard was attempting to secure a premature financial resolution by alleging abuse. Now the two are going through a heavily publicized defamation trial brought about by Depp against his ex-wife. And because of the very public celebrity trial, even more details are surfacing about the violent nature of their relationship. And number 1, this couple takes the cake as one of the most toxic celebrity relationships that didn't last. Chris Brown and Rihanna were once the music industry's hottest young couple at the height of their romance. The two met as teenagers in 2005, starting off in the music industry, and it was from that initial meeting that they continued to cross paths. In 2008, it was revealed that they were officially dating, and all seemed to be going well, until their explosive argument the night before the Grammys, where Chris violently attacked Rihanna, leaving her bruised and battered. Chris was arrested and charged with felony battery, while Rihanna took out a restraining order against him. After years of apologizing and attempting to get his career back on track, Chris finally got Rihanna back in his arms in late 2012, and the couple gave their romance another shot. But their reunion only lasted a few months.
Number 10, the wedding ring. It seems the allegedly very happy couple is having some trouble in paradise, and it looks like they will continue to deny it. Just recently, Britney was spotted without her wedding ring, and Sam seemed to take note, and was seen without his just days later. The singer was caught by paparazzi at the end of March, headed to a private jet with her manager Kate Hudson, as they headed off to Hawaii, oddly enough without her husband. Then just 2 days later, Sam was ringless as he left the gym, which only added evidence that the 10-month marriage could already be ending. For two people in the public eye so consistently, many fans believe that this is a subtle hint to the beginning of the end. Britney's recent post didn't help with the speculations as well. She posted a short clip mid-March of her trip to Mexico, captioning the video with, "Throwback to Mexico before I got married. So happy and silly here." This obviously sparked some worry amongst her fans, with one commenting, "So she's not happy now?" Another added, "She's obviously not happy now. This marriage seems shammy." Since getting flooded with comments, she has since turned off her comments on Instagram, but it hasn't stopped the talking on other platforms. Even with the allegations of her relationship, Sam's representative has since confirmed that there's no marital issues going on between the two. His publicist added that he took off his ring and wasn't able to attend the trip because he is filming a movie. Even if that is so, Britney and her representative still haven't come forward as to where her ring is. Number 9, the constant fighting. Speculations about the couple being on the rocks isn't new news though. Back in the fall of last year, a new report emerged claiming that the couple was having constant fights as a result of Britney's alleged mood swings. A source at the time told Globe and Mail that Sam's marriage to Britney was seriously a heavy lift, claiming that he is burnt out and ready to get out of there as soon as possible. Allegedly, the newlyweds' non-stop fighting was partially due to her erratic moods, but also to do with Britney's neediness. An insider to the press said, "Sam's had the patience of a saint, but he's seriously worn down. If he so much as heads off for a workout, she freaks out and gives him the third degree," even going on to claim that Britney was essentially treating her new husband as a glorified assistant. Though Sam has shown his protective side online towards Britney, the source continues to reveal how exhausted he really is behind the scenes. An insider shares by saying, "He has to wait on her hand and foot and be her sounding board for every little decision. He's seriously thinking about a trip away with his friends and his sisters, maybe a trio back to Iran to see his folks," adding at the end how crucial it is for him to clear his head. The couple didn't comment at the time about these alleged fights, so take these claims with a grain of salt. But either way, it does sound like the relationship could be more messy than we would like to think. Number 8. The intervention. This past year has looked to be a whirlwind for the singer, from getting married to clapping back at fans who called for a wellness check, as well as becoming upset when fans began filming her when she had a rare dinner at a restaurant. It's definitely been a lot. After sources claimed to the press that her inner circle, including her manager and husband, were planning an intervention, she was pretty furious. A source even said that the reason for this intervention was because the singer was becoming so erratic that they feared that she was going to pass away. Britney then took to Instagram to explain her side of the story and address all the allegations. She wrote, "It makes me sick to my stomach that it's even legal for people to make up stories about how I almost passed away. I mean, at some point, enough is enough." She added, "I probably have to stop posting on Instagram even though I enjoy it. There's obviously a lot of people who don't wish me well." Sam came forward and told Access Hollywood that an intervention didn't happen. He said, "My wife is in full control of her life and will continue to make all the decisions involving her care, regardless of the circumstance. Speculation on her health is inappropriate and should end immediately." Apparently, a house was going to be rented for 2 months while she underwent treatment, which would include counseling, but it was cancelled because she became too aware of what was going on. Number 7. The prenup. With Britney's $60 million net worth, you can imagine that there's definitely going to be a prenup involved. But this prenup seems to be a little bit more hardcore, with some calling it ironclad. A source told TMZ that the prenup will ensure that Sam won't get a dollar of anything Britney has made in her career up until this point, saying she will retain her entire fortune if things go south for her and Sam. Allegedly, this prenup was written over the course of her engagement and has been thoroughly looked over by her lawyers. When Sam noticed that people were talking about the prenup, he joked on his Instagram story, writing, "Thank you for the concern of the prenup. Of course, writing an ironclad prenup to protect my Jeep and shoe collection in case she dumps me one day." Many did agree though, as fans came forward admitting how they don't necessarily trust Sam. One Twitter user wrote, "Britney has suffered to get all of her property in her hands. The thought of her ever losing part of it to someone else is honestly just so nauseating." Number 6. Gold digger. Not long after Britney and Sam got engaged, many fans were not too sure about how they felt about the whole thing. During her long battle to escape her conservatorship, Sam was always standing right beside her, looking to support the singer even through some of the most difficult years of her life. Though she won a huge victory of ending her conservatorship and with getting engaged at the time, fans still believed that we weren't totally in the clear yet. Sure, many were happy for her, but others couldn't help but notice some red flags popping up. And not surprisingly, fears started circulating that Sam was only in it for the money. This of course would be a pretty long con by Sam, as the two have been together for years, but a few believed it was a gain to fame, money, and live a more lavish lifestyle. The fear seems to come to a head when Sam's ex-girlfriend spoke to TMZ in an interview where she discussed the newly engaged couple. She said to the press, "He finally hit the jackpot." Though she did say she was very happy for the two of them, when asked her thoughts on if he had any ulterior motives, she responded by saying, "Hollywood, it's so hard to tell, but he's so charming and such a sweet guy that I really hope not for her sake." She also added, "She's been through enough." Even if this did seem like a pretty nice blessing from his former girlfriend, others weren't so sure, noticing that after announcing the engagement, he began appearing in the spotlight much more frequently, leaving a few fans to believe he might just be enjoying it a little too much. Number 5. Controlle. After she escaped her dad, fans didn't stop worrying about the singer. Many were asking the question, is Sam the one in control now? After getting engaged, it was reported reported that Sam began taking on much more of the responsibility of Britney, leaving fans worried that he was now the boss of her. An insider who spoke to Radar explained how Britney relies heavily on her then fiance, saying that Sam is now the boss. Understandably, after everything she has been through, Britney doesn't trust a lot of people, which is why she is relying so heavily on Sam. The insider went on to say, all she has is Sam, which is why everything is going through him. Even simple press requests are now going through Sam. Seems like Sam is very aware of this though, and the power that comes with essentially managing all of Britney's assets. The source shares, Britney is a cash machine. After what happened with her dad, he knows why people are frightened. He understands the power of being engaged to someone so powerful. Regardless as to if he truly does understand, fans can't seem to shake the concern that he is just a little bit more controlling than he's letting on. Number 4, the ex. Britney's ex-husband Jason Alexander had some suspicions of its own when it came to his ex's engagement. During an interview with the Inside Edition, Jason shared his true opinion on the whole relationship, claiming he believes that none of it is real at all. He shared, I'm always going to love her, and if she's happy with Sam, then that's what's going to happen, and I'm happy for her. But when the interviewer asked if he believed it was all real, he responded by simply saying no. Jason didn't stop there though, and went on to crash Britney's wedding before getting arrested for trespassing. 3 months after crashing the wedding, he appeared on the podcast 1 Degree of Scandalous and shared his side of the story. He revealed, she called me on Monday, which was probably the 7th. It was a couple of days before the wedding. We spoke for about 20 minutes. Nothing was brought up about the wedding taking place at all. He went on to claim it was kind of a flirty conversation. When asked about what he noticed when he crashed the wedding, he said, maybe I wasn't on the guest list. Either way, this is Britney's wedding day and she's locked in the bedroom. Number 3, the pretend choke. What most people are calling just an absolute red flag is the weird photo the couple took together. The photo shows Sam's right hand behind Britney's neck and his left hovering in the air around her chin, looking as though he was going to choke her. Britney captioned the photo with, happy B-Day to me. While she did look happy in the photo, many Instagram users felt concerned at Sam's weird pretend choke. One fan wrote, I feel like this is a red flag. Hands around your neck, this is horrifying. Another added, his stance is aggressive, which is a comment that ended up getting thousands of likes in agreement. Fans even urged her to run, saying, are you serious? He looks like he's about to choke you. Run, Brit. Happy birthday, but run. I have to admit the picture is a little weird, but what do you guys think? Number 2, unsupportive dad. Though it looks like Britney is typically pretty happy with Sam, there's definitely one person who absolutely does not approve, and that's her dad, Jamie. A close source to the star revealed in 2016, Britney's dad does not like this guy at all. Jamie has some reservations that he is worried that Sam may be after her money. But after getting out of her strict conservatorship, it really doesn't matter what her dad thinks. This hasn't stopped Sam from sharing his opinions on Jamie though. Sam shared online, now it's important for people to understand that I have zero respect for someone trying to control our relationship and constantly throwing obstacles our way. He even went on to say, in my opinion, James is a total D. I won't be going into details because I've always respected our privacy. But at the same time, I didn't come to this country to not be able to express my opinion and freedom. Number 1, the affair allegations. Just a few months into the relationship, rumors started circulating the couple, relating to cheating allegations. Morgan Osmond from the Bad Girls Club came forward in January 2017. She told the press, I have videos and images of our real relationship. Britney, he is using you. She posted a photo at the time which showed herself and Sam kissing. She claimed that the two of them were having an affair. She said, I don't know why everyone is attacking me. Sam is the cheater. I feel sorry for Britney Spears. She seems like a good person. Not long after these allegations, Sam discovered a fake Bumble account using his photos. He then took to Instagram with a screenshot of the profile with a red X writing, not on any dating apps. Neither Britney nor Sam commented on these allegations at the time, and Morgan has since deleted the photo. But many fans think the whole thing is just pretty sketchy.
At number 10, we have Joe pressuring Sophie to attend industry events. It should be obvious if your partner expresses how they don't want to go somewhere, maybe don't force them to go. Well, according to multiple sources, Joe was pressuring Sophie to attend these industry events with him and even talked to other people, expressing how annoyed he was when she didn't attend. Sophie sometimes would give in and go to these events with Joe. However, she allegedly also expressed discomfort as she did not want to be seen in public and further be photographed. And if you already think Joe is crossing boundaries, you are absolutely right. But wait, there's even more. Joe allegedly did all of this after his wife gave birth to their second child together back in 2022. Poor Sophie probably just wanted to recover from childbirth, plus we all know how harsh the media can be, especially when it comes to appearances of women. If Joe was a good husband, not only would he have been supportive and understanding with Sophie's decision to stay at home, but he would also not be telling other people how he is frustrated with her not leaving the house. I mean, it's nobody's business but their own, and honestly, Sophie has every right to do whatever she wants. At the end of the day, Joe did call her a homebody, and he was a social butterfly, so let her just be happy and enjoy her time at home. For number 9, we have Joe's alleged sexism and misogyny. After all the news of the divorce came out, it has been pretty clear speculations jump from one side to the other. However, many believe Joe actually has a past when it comes to flipping his problems and issues, turning the narrative onto the women in the relationship. In the past, Joe has always compared and contrasted how social he was and how Sophie may not be as outgoing as him, as we stated before. So why is he now trying to make it seem like it's a bad thing Sophie's enjoying her time partying with her friends? I understand they have kids together now, but I'm sure if Joe was partying with his friends, it wouldn't be seen as a big deal. Stereotypically, women stay at home while men go out, and it seems like Joe can't get out of this 18th century's mindset. If he wanted Sophie to go out and leave the house more often, wouldn't this not bother him? Well, it seems like Joe has a tendency to flip things onto others and not treat them with respect. I mean, he did break up with Taylor Swift through a 27-second voicemail. Yup, big yikes. Well, now it seems like he is continuing his track record once again. And for our number 8 spot, we have Joe not being supportive towards Sophie after the birth of their second child. Apparently, shortly after the birth of their second daughter back in 2022, Joe was ignorant and completely lacked emotional support towards his wife. Sophie did not want to leave the house as she was recovering from literally giving birth to his child. She also did not want to be photographed right after 9 long months, which is totally understandable considering how public their lives are. And I'm sure as soon as Turner puts a foot out the door, many photos would instantly be taken of her because of the paparazzi. She has even addressed her mental health struggles in the past, and a big issue she found was being on camera at the age of 14 as the whole world picks her apart. And I'm sure it's still tough for Sophie to show up to any public appearance. In the past, this former couple has talked about how Joe and Sophie's relationship building, as Joe apparently helped Sophie see herself for the true beauty she is. If Joe knew all the struggles Sophie has dealt with in the past, especially due to the judgment of her appearance, him not being supportive for her and her boundaries, especially right after birth, is just crazy to me. For number 7, we have Joe's horrible PR stunt. Oh god, although this happened recently after the couple called it splits, this PR stunt just further highlighted toxicity from Jonas, which is why it had to be included in our top 10. If you haven't heard, Joe's first public appearance since the news about his divorce was with his 2 daughters and nanny as they were photographed on a patio while they seemed to be enjoying lunch. They not only sat outside, but Joe was also sitting facing the paparazzi, which seems a little bit interesting. The worst part is these photos were the first photos of their 2 daughters the pair welcomed back in 2022 and 2020. Sophie, being a good and responsible mother, decided she didn't want her girls in the public eye in order to protect them from the media and for privacy reasons. Joe completely disregarded that and decided to use his daughters as a way to portray himself as a single, loving father of his 2 kids. Well, the internet quickly debunked that as it was clear what his true intentions were with this PR stunt, and it was to spite Sophie. I'm sure any responsible parent, even during a divorce, would put their children first, but I guess to Joe, getting back at his ex is more important than being a father who protects their kids and respects the mother of his kids' wishes. At number 6, we have the lack of trust. I think most of us have heard the rumors circulating about the Ring doorbell. Well, if you haven't heard of it yet, basically it has been said that Joe allegedly saw or heard Sophie do something on the Ring camera that made him realize the relationship was not going to work out. The Ring doorbell captures both audio and video footage that homeowners can view through an app. And first of all, Joe, why are you checking the Ring footage? Many accuse Joseph of being a spy, especially because he's been with Sophie for 4 years. I'm sure they are able to trust each other, right? Without trust, is there even a relationship? Many fans are jumping into the conversation by tweeting and making memes about this situation for what Joe potentially heard that caused him to call it quits. Some fans say Joe heard Sophie say that Nick was her favorite Jonas brother and Camp Rock was not her favorite movie, and so much more. The memes have gone endless. In our number 5 spot, we have his family pressures. Apparently, Joe and his family have been putting the ladies against each other as they continue to compare them. And those ladies are nobody except, of course, the gorgeous Sophie Turner and Priyanka Chopra. Priyanka is the wife to Jonas's younger brother, Nick, and because it has been said that Priyanka and Nick are both on the same page when it comes to settling down and raising a family they built together, whereas Joe wants to settle down and Sophie wants to continue living her life, especially since she allegedly feels like she's missed out on her youthful years having fun and instead have been working since she was an early teen. Due to this, it has been said that Joe and his family have been constantly comparing Priyanka with Sophie, which I'm sure does not further help the situation. We also have to keep in mind Priyanka and Sophie are two different people, which is why it's pretty obvious they're going to want different things. Sophie did enter the spotlight at 14, which makes sense on why she feels like she missed out on her teenage and early adult years. I just think it's toxic to have your partner's family tell you who you should be more like, but also, why isn't Joe standing up for Sophie? And for number 4, we have the age gap. Although age gaps tend to be normal in relationships and aren't directly toxic, Joe did start seeing and dating Sophie when she was only 19 years old and he was 26. 7 years isn't too much of an age gap, however, considering the fact Sophie was 19, she was honestly quite young. This alone may have not been toxic, but the power imbalance can be inconsistent as Joe was almost in his late 20s and Sophie just became a legal adult. We often see age gap relationships in Hollywood and not all of the relationships end the same way Joe and Sophie's did. However, considering these two were apparently on different pages, it seems like the 7-year age gap started to affect them. Joe was ready to settle down with Sophie and there's 2 children, but Sophie still wants to enjoy her 20s while she can. She did get engaged to Joe when she was 21, married to him by 23, and even had their first daughter by 24. Because we know all this, no wonder Sophie feels like she's been missing out on her younger years. She did start acting at 14, and I'm sure it's hard to live a quote-unquote normal life when you are as famous as she is. Whether the age gap has anything to do with the downfall of their marriage, I personally think the fact that they both currently want different things is not further helping. And for number 3, we have the Jonas Injectables campaign. This one doesn't directly affect Sophie, but it does tell us a little bit more about Joe. Back in 2022, Joe did a campaign with a seemingly positive message about loving yourself. The advertisement was called Beauty on Your Terms. It was a way to find an alternative to face-changing surgeries and procedures that we see many in the show business get. This ad, however, was promoting an injectable solution which is the competitor for Botox, in order to smoothen and hide fine lines and wrinkles. So the whole message surrounding feeling beautiful, boosting your self-esteem, and to fit into mainstream beauty standards all stem from this product you inject, which can be a little contradicting, especially because of the campaign Jonas starred in, centered around feeling good in your own skin. And hey, there's nothing wrong with doing whatever you want to your face, but it is maybe not the best move for this campaign directly, as it takes away the message about feeling good, being your own person, and instead directing you into ways you can fit into Hollywood's obsession with staying young. Plus, Joe has a pretty large fan base with some young fans, and whether that's his responsibility or not, that's up for discussion. And for number 2, we have the breakup right before their wedding. Yep, sounds pretty toxic to me. Well, apparently right before the lovebirds decided to get married in 2019, they broke up for 24 hours due to both of them getting cold feet, which apparently is normal right before marriage, as you are both about to make one of the biggest commitments of your life. But not only did Joe feel this way, Sophie felt the exact same way as well. Because of this, the two split for 24 hours before they quickly decided they could overcome their feelings of cold feet and did indeed want to get married. Although this is common, I think it could be a little toxic to jump straight into a breakup when they could have talked things out before concluding to the end of their relationship. I understand it can be difficult to act rationally in high stress or emotional times, but communication is key in a relationship, and I'm sure they could have both worked through whatever emotions both parties were feeling in order to make both of them feel secure and happy moving forwards. In our number 1 spot, we have Sophie Turner's friendship with Joe Jonas's famous 12-time Grammy-winning ex-girlfriend, no one else but Taylor Swift. I'm not really sure if this is toxic for Sophie or if there's more warning flags on Joe for this one. I mean, Sophie has shown support for Taylor since 2021, showcasing her love for her music as she actively posts what she's listening to from Taylor's album. Furthermore, a song she has famously posted about in the past was Taylor's hit 2008 song Mr. Perfectly Fine, which is speculated to be about Joe Jonas. We all know how Taylor and Joe's breakup didn't end with rainbows and sunshine, so it is interesting to see a friendship spark between these two ladies. Good for them though, because Joe does have a reputation for blaming all his issues on the women in the relationship he's had in the past, so for these two girls being unproblematic towards each other even when Sophie was dating Joe, it makes me really happy for them. As Joe and Sophie navigate their new chapters with their children, we hope they can learn from these moments and build a more positive future. We wish them both the best in their separate journeys.
Number 10, rebound. Over the years, some Justin and Selena fans have believed that Hailey has actually been a rebound this whole time. Considering the two got engaged just months after the official split from Selena, it's pretty weird timing, with some even believing there could have been overlap between the relationships. In March of 2018, a source came forward and said they weren't getting along and decided to take a break. It doesn't seem like a big deal and they'll probably be fine again soon. Did Justin take this break a little more seriously than Selena, considering by June of the same year he was back with Hailey? A source close to Justin claims that he continued to tell Selena "I love you" right up until the day he got married, maybe hoping for another chance with his ex. Fans were taking to their social media to explain their theories of what they think is going on between the couple. After Hailey posted a photo for Justin's 29th birthday, saying words couldn't possibly sum up all that you embody. One user commented, "He looks like he's being held hostage. Sometimes divorce is the best solution and she's definitely a rebound." When Selena and Justin were in their on again off again phase, fan theories came out that Hailey was being used just to make Selena jealous during the off phase of the relationship. In December 2017, a source close to Justin told TMZ that while getting back with Selena, he reached out to Hailey to apologize for mistreating her in the past, saying this contact was purely in the spirit of living more openly and honestly within the church. But according to the source, this caused Selena to freak out, most likely making this quick marriage to the model that much more painful. Number 9, the narcotic problems. Justin Bieber's illegal narcotic problem really did take its toll on the marriage. Justin had a bit of a reputation for interesting behavior and having pretty serious narcotic problems in the past few years, even going on to reveal how his security guards would be forced to check his pulse at night to make sure he was okay. He opened up to GQ in an interview and said, "It was like I had all the success and it was like I'm sad and I'm still in pain and I have all these unresolved issues." Going on to say, "So for me it was a numbing agent to just continue to get through." He also went on to explain his struggles with his mental health as well. He said, "I was also navigating a lot of emotional terrain, which had a lot to do with it." Though he did admit that his marriage was a positive force during this, but he agreed it was not as easy as others have made it seem. He shared, "The first year of marriage was really tough because there was a lot going back to the trauma stuff. But this whole ordeal was definitely tough on his new wife, who ended up turning to her mom when she was at her breaking point." During an episode of In the Good Faith, the podcast, Hailey revealed how it was her mom who persuaded her to stay with Justin. She shared at the time saying, "I remember I called her a few different times. One particular time when we were in Brooklyn and I was calling her, I was crying and I was like, I can't do it. There's no way I'm going to be able to do this, if it's gonna be like this forever." She went on to say when discussing her mom's response, she was so calm and she was like, "It's going to pass and you're going to be fine. He's going to be healthy." Though she did end up staying with Justin and luckily has reportedly been getting better and overcoming some of his mental health issues, it has left some questioning though if the toll it took on Hailey was just a little too much for the long term. Number 8, the Selena tattoos. This is a pretty crazy one. Personally, I'd find it pretty tough if my significant other had his ex's tattoos face on their arm, and I can only imagine that Hailey thinks about it quite a bit. During his relationship with Selena, Justin decided to really go for it and get a tattoo of her face on his arm, which was inspired by a photo shoot she did. He even went on further with it and added wings, making Selena look like an angel. Many fans figured that after he married Hailey, he would get this covered up or just the whole thing removed, but it just didn't seem to happen. When asked about his tattoos, he revealed he doesn't regret any of them, saying, "Over 100 hours of hard work on my body and I wouldn't take back a single one. I absolutely love art and I've made my body a canvas and it's so much fun." While he claims he doesn't regret a single one, he has admitted to trying to conceal the Selena tattoo with some shading, but to many fans it appears to look the exact same. Not only that, but with the ongoing drama between his wife and his ex, you would think that he'd be a little bit more careful about this tribute to Selena. Bieber fans began speculating about Justin's motives after he posted photos from his birthday on Instagram. He shared photos on his Instagram wearing a gray sweater with one sleeve rolled up, showing off the Selena angel tattoo. Some other fans also believe that aside from this tattoo on his arm, the singer also has one on his neck, which could also be dedicated to Selena. The tattoo is of a rose, which many claim to see a faint S in. Roses are also supposedly Selena's favorite flower. Definitely a little strange considering he's been married now for 4 years. Number 7. Selena obsessed. From matching tattoos, matching outfits, and matching interviews, it's clear to fans that Hailey is definitely a little too obsessed with Selena. This is definitely bizarre considering this is her husband's ex, and it leaves many to wonder, what does Justin think about this? The main one that really threw fans overboard was the pretty similar cooking shows. Selena Gomez has a show on HBO Max called Selena and Chef since 2020. Hailey's also recently come out with a cooking show of her own as part of a YouTube series called What's in My Kitchen. Viewers almost immediately started noticing the similarities between these two shows. One user showed some clips of shows and the similarities between them on TikTok, with the side-by-side clips showing how both stars have invited their grandma onto the show to make their favorite dishes. Many fans believe this is no coincidence at all, and Hailey is just trying to be exactly like Selena, even down to the cooking show. A Twitter user posted, "Hailey really needs to stop copying Selena and should focus on herself." But oddly enough, it gets even more incriminating. Hailey might also be copying what Selena says. In the premiere episode of Selena and Chef, Selena emphasizes how the show is not being filmed on a set, and that this is her actual home and her actual kitchen. Some other TikTok users pointed out how Hailey may even be stealing her expressions. In one episode of the show, Selena showed viewers her okie dokie jar, explaining how she has to pay every time she uses this phrase. She said in the episode, "We have an okie dokie jar. They said that word is over, so every time I use it I have to put $1 in there." So you can tell I've said it quite a few times. Oddly enough, Hailey has also started using this expression too well on her cooking show. This left fans to believe this is just another case of copying. Some TikTok users have even begun commenting okie dokie on all of Hailey's social media platforms. Number 6. Talking to his ex. Were Justin and Selena in contact more recently than we originally thought? No one wants their partner to be talking to their ex, and it just looks like it might be another red flag in their relationship. Allegedly, during lockdown in 2020, Justin decided to reach out to Selena. Sources said at the time Selena had completely moved on, but Justin was still holding on, wanting to be friends. A source told The Sun, "Selena has kept her distance from Justin, but he recently started contacting her again. He doesn't believe he should be cut off from those people he was closest to in his life, and doesn't believe that talking is cheating." The source went on to add, "He loves Hailey dearly, but does complain about her sometimes, and Selena says it's sad. He feels that she's just a little too obsessed with religion sometimes. Basically feels that she is too far gone." The insider revealed that even though Justin is religious himself, he reportedly believes Hailey needs to take a step back from it all. The same source told the media, "Selena understands Justin never stopped loving her and also realizes lockdown has been tough, and she isn't surprised that he's been calling." Fans of the two are convinced that Justin has been continually keeping tabs on his ex, especially when Selena's cooking show was seen on Justin's browsing list on his TV in the background of an Instagram story. These allegations have never been proven, but many fans believe that this is absolutely something that Justin would do. Number 5. The Vanity Fair party. Justin left Hailey pretty high and dry on the red carpet at this Vanity Fair party and left his wife to pose alone, even though she was facing some pretty extreme backlash for the Selena drama. Not only that, but many celebrities kept getting in her shots, making it all look pretty uncomfortable. One TikTok user commented, "And even after all that, there was barely any flash." Another added, "The way the paparazzi was taking pictures of the people walking behind her instead of taking photos of her." Not only that, but reportedly when Justin did meet her at the party, he appeared to look tormented. An insider said Justin did not look well. He was hunched over and wearing a blanket, going on to claim that he looked tormented and just seemed to be acting weird. Could this be a sign of more things to come? Number 4. Not an easy marriage. Both Hailey and Justin have been open to the struggles of married life, but how bad has it really been? Justin shared in the past, "It's a journey. I remember when I first got married, I hit a little bit of an emotional breakdown because I thought marriage was gonna fix all my problems, and it didn't." He also explained saying, "The first year of marriage was really tough. There was a lack of trust." Not only has Justin spoken about these things, but Hailey has gone into it a little bit as well. During an interview, she talked about the first year of married life and said, "In the beginning, especially for the first 6 or 7 months of being married, I was ridden with guilt. I wish I hadn't done this." She went on to say, "We all have shame and guilt for things we've done, but it doesn't have to define who we are, and it doesn't have to define me in my relationship." She also said this in regards to finding some struggles in being a good girl and goody two-shoes type in her relationship, later explaining how this is just not realistic for her. She even went on to say, "It's definitely hard sometimes. I think we both annoy each other a lot sometimes." Number 3. The mother-son relationship. A few fans on Twitter have begun accusing Justin and Hailey of having sort of a mother-son relationship when Hailey cares for Justin at times. Kind of like a mother. The recent time that really got TikTok and Twitter users talking was when the clip emerged of Hailey comforting Justin at this year's Coachella Coachella. Though many thought this moment was pretty sweet, others were thinking that Justin was getting upset and just didn't want to be there. One fan speculated, "He doesn't want to be there. You can tell he has very bad anxiety being at places like this for too long." Another questioned about their relationship, saying, "They have a mother and son relationship. I feel so bad for Hailey, she deserves better." Another user commented, "It must be exhausting for her to take on his emotional needs so constantly." Number 2, we have Justin's music. Hailey and Justin got married in 2018, but it didn't stop fans from trying to connect him back to Selena. So when Justin released some new music in 2021, social media users began thinking that these songs were actually about his ex, especially the songs Ghost and Anyone. Ghost really caught the attention of fans though, as it seems it's about a longing for someone romantically that he is no longer with, aka Selena. One fan wrote, "Listen, I'm not a Jelena shipper, and I'm not even going to throw Selena into everything involving Justin, because at the end of the day, they're two separate people living two separate lives." But Ghost screams Selena. Another Twitter user added, "I want to know that if I can't be close to you, I'll settle for the ghost of you. You're telling me Justin didn't write Ghost about Selena, please." Though when asked about the song's inspiration, Justin denied that it was about Selena and said it's actually for the people who lost loved ones. There is a lot of people who have lost people from other things or just lost people general. Might not be from passing away, but have lost people that were in their life for a season and now that person isn't. Even with this explanation, fans continue to speculate that the ghost is actually Hailey, meaning since he can't be close to Selena, he'll have to settle for the ghost that is Hailey. And finally at number 1, we have Real Love. Social media users have begun wondering the past few years if this relationship is actually legitimate or not, with some speculating that he's just in it for the visa to become a dual citizen, and with others thinking that she's just a rebound. Is there something that we're missing here? In the past, a few people have come forward with allegations that this relationship could be more just physical rather than emotional. When Justin made an inappropriate comment about Hailey on social media, it left fans worrying. Hailey was applauding her husband's recent video and wrote, "My jaw, it's on the floor." To which he responded by saying, "Your jaw is in other places too, let's be honest." Hailey clearly hated this and wrote, "Oh my god, please go to sleep." Fans quickly began commenting on this conversation, and one wrote, "Justin makes a raunchy response to convince the world that he's happy. You know what they say about the couples that do this." Either way, bold move to read a comment like that when you're at that level of fame.
Number 10, the Facebook Live. A video has recently resurfaced of Justin and Hailey on Facebook Live in May of 2020. In the clip, Hailey admitted to the constant comparisons that she gets to Selena Gomez, and she says they're overwhelming. Quote, "The ways that I feel like people have made comparisons and just put me in a position where they've really made me feel like less of a woman. It's not easy." But while she's pouring her heart out on camera, Justin is not exactly being supportive. The whole time she's talking, he keeps a poker face and gazes blankly off camera. Now that people are rewatching the video almost 3 years later, they're pretty shocked by his lack of response. In fact, his facial expression is so vacant that some people joked that he looks like a cardboard cutout or a green screen projection. Fans felt that his body language was a major red flag for their relationship. Someone in the comments suggested that Justin was being hypnotized to sit there. Most people could agree that he genuinely looked like he would rather be anywhere else. So was this clip an indicator that their relationship is not that great behind the scenes, or is everyone just reading too much into it? Number 9, Justin screaming at Hailey. In July of 2021, the couple were in Las Vegas to celebrate Kendall Jenner's new tequila brand, 818 Tequila. After the night, a TikTok user posted a video of Justin and Hailey leaving the club, with fans and bodyguards around them. In the video, they could be seen holding hands, but as they were walking down the halls of the hotel, Justin very clearly looked like he was yelling at her. The clip went viral on TikTok with more than 1.2 million views, and it drew concern from fans everywhere. From that point on, the comment section was filled with theories about why he was screaming at her, and many people put it down to a sign of toxicity in their relationship. After all, who yells at their partner like that? Before it was deleted, fans seemed to turn on Justin for the way he was treating Hailey. Although some came to his defense and claimed that he wasn't actually yelling at her out of anger, but maybe out of excitement. Sadly though, that was far from the only video that came out about them showing him losing control of his temper. Number 8, running away from Hailey. In September of 2021, there was a shocking video posted on Twitter, which showed Justin running away from paparazzi and fully leaving Hailey while she falls on the ground. In the clip, he gets out of the car with his skateboard and just takes off without saying anything. At first it looks like he's alone just doing his own thing, but 1 second later Hailey literally falls out of the car and looks flustered, especially at the fact that she got left behind. To make things so much worse, this all happened on a busy street, so plenty of people watched it. She then sprints after him, obviously trying to catch up, but Justin is already out of sight. The whole thing must have been incredibly humiliating for her, and that's exactly what the comments said. Someone wrote, "I know this keeps her awake at night, and that's why you shouldn't chase men." However, fans were also very sympathetic to her situation, considering that a lot of people could relate to having a partner that just doesn't care for you. One user wrote, "As much as we may not like her, no female deserves to be treated like this by their husband. She deserves better regardless." Justin says, "Don't touch me." Obviously, every relationship is different and every couple has different boundaries with each other, but fans were still pretty shocked to see a video of Hailey making Justin physically uncomfortable with her touch. In the video, they are doing a live stream of some kind. He's sitting down casually while she's standing behind him with her arms crossed. She then tries to be affectionate and put her arms around him, which he instantly reacts to. Justin becomes visibly annoyed and says, "Babe, I can't. Don't touch me right now." At first, Hailey cannot tell if he's being serious and she just keeps her arms there. He then says, "Just in general, that just happens sometimes. I just need some space." To be fair, he's trying to be nice about it and communicate with her honestly, but in terms of his body language, you can tell that he's not really loving the way he's being touched. A lot of people called out Hailey for disrespecting his boundaries and making him stressed. But of course, there were also those fans who felt that this was just a sign that he straight up doesn't like her anymore, because he keeps getting annoyed with every little thing that she does. Hailey was a stalker. Recently, there's been evidence posted that proves the model was a hardcore Justin Bieber fan for years before they got together. In fact, she would often tweet about his relationship with Selena and how much he shipped them as a couple. In a deleted tweet from 2011, she wrote, "I don't care what anyone says, but Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez together is the definition of a teenage dream." Of course, that must have been pretty embarrassing for her, but to be fair, she was only around 14 or 15 when she posted that. Soon after that, a damning video appeared online from 2012 that shows Hailey lurking in the background while Justin met with fans. She was in a crowd trying to get close to him. This was obviously long before she was a part of his inner circle. They were first introduced in 2009, so at the time of the video they would have met before, but judging by that footage, Justin still treated her like just another fan. One of the most liked comments under that video says, "She was the groupie with the most financial resources to keep stalking, and eventually came out on top. Money does buy love indeed." The Apple Music interview. In the midst of the drama, fans have continually brought up an interview of Justin talking about the downsides of his relationship. Apparently he struggled after realizing that his marriage to Hailey wouldn't instantly make him a better person. He said, "It's a journey. I remember when I first got married, I hit a little bit of an emotional breakdown because I thought marriage was going to fix all of my problems and it didn't." He went on to say that he felt like a hypocrite because he wanted Hailey to do something that he wasn't doing for himself. Although Justin was obviously speaking from the heart here, many fans were mocking the video by saying that he only feels that way because he's with the wrong person. Shortly after they tied the knot, Hailey and Justin did an interview with Vogue, where they talked about going to a marriage counselor. Hailey said, "The thing is, marriage is very hard. That is a sentence that you should lead with. It's really effing hard," which is something that they could both agree on. Now that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get divorced, but some would say it's not a good sign. Slams the door on Hailey. In 2020, Justin got a ton of flack from fans in a paparazzi video that went viral. Despite claims that he is a gentleman, his behavior around his wife has been far from chivalrous, and that only refers to what's actually been caught on camera. In a shocking clip, the singer pulled up in a black chauffeured SUV. As he got out of the car, he looked visually annoyed, as if he just had some kind of meltdown. Without looking back, he carelessly slams the door in Hailey's face. She tragically follows him without any pushback and even tries to point him in the right direction. The only thing she said was, "Babe, I think this is the right way." Of course, a lot of people were sickened by the whole video because it really looked like a textbook toxic relationship. Seeing Hailey be automatically apologetic after Justin clearly embarrassed her in front of everyone was triggering for a lot of viewers. One person wrote, "She needs to wake up. If a man treats you like that, he doesn't love you." Another person commented, "Ugh, if I was Hailey, I would get a divorce and move out of the country." So it seems like people were encouraging her to break up. The argument on live. In a Facebook Live, Justin and Hailey can be seen sitting on a couch answering questions about his Lyme disease diagnosis. They get asked whether or not he's scared about the diagnosis, and even though the question was clearly directed at Justin, Hailey decides to answer instead. Midway through her response, he then cuts her off and says, "She was asking me." What follows is a long silence, which eventually breaks into an awkward laugh. He then says, "They're asking me because it's my Lyme disease, it's not your Lyme disease." In response, Hailey says that she's the one who's been going to all his doctor's appointments with him, but Justin cuts her off again and says, "Listen here, woman," which obviously was the worst thing he could have possibly said. After that, they decide to end the live stream, but not before Hailey made a sarcastic comment about his attitude. At this point, it's pretty obvious there is a lot of tension between the two of them, which might have been exacerbated by Justin's health condition. At the time, he also had a serious case of mono, which he says was affecting his skin, brain function, and energy. The arranged marriage. In 2020, Justin sat down with Demi Lovato on the Ellen DeGeneres show and talked about how she met his wife. He said, "I think because she was raised Christian and they found out that, I think it was an arranged marriage, I'm pretty sure." Looking back now, it was definitely an arranged marriage. They set this whole thing up. He explains that since Hailey was raised Christian, her dad Stephen Baldwin decided to introduce them because he thought that they would have similar values and believe the same thing. Justin said, "It was definitely an arranged marriage now that I'm thinking about it. Goodness gracious." Even though Demi Lovato laughed off the idea, Justin just kept on repeating how he thought it was an arranged marriage. Of course, he was clearly joking, but a lot of fans have taken this interview as proof and just run with it. In fact, there's been a ton of videos posted where people tried to use this to explain how their marriage was a setup, and Justin was tricked. Their first meeting was all the way back in 2009, and it was actually captured on film, so everyone can judge for themselves whether or not they think it was arranged. Number 1. Allegations of cheating. Justin got together with Hailey very quickly after he ended things with Selena in June of 2018, so ever since then, cheating rumors have followed the couple. For her part, Hailey has adamantly denied this was the case, and she said that Selena and Justin weren't as serious as everyone thought when they got back together in 2018. She said, "As a woman, I would never want to get into a relationship with someone and be engaged to them and be getting married to them and be thinking in the back of my mind, I wonder if that door was really closed. I know for a fact that the reason we were able to get back together was because it was very much completely closed." But Selena recently commented on a TikTok in a way that suggests that was not the whole truth. One of her fans posted a video saying, "Does anyone just feel really bad for Selena Gomez? Like, can you imagine going through a breakup so publicly with a guy that you were in love with for like 7 years and then like 2 months later he just marries someone?" In response, she wrote, "That made me cry, thank you." So even though Hailey swears that there was no overlap whatsoever, the timeline has always been pretty shady.
And for number 10, we have Sam Smith and Christian Cohen. Sam is a 5-time Grammy Award winner who was first linked to fashion designer Christian back in January of 2023, and the couple was spotted together in London, New York, and Paris. Lucky. And this was Sam's first public relationship since his split from Brandon Flynn, who is best known for his role in 13 Reasons Why. Sam would even support their partner Christian, as he would be pictured supporting his New York Fashion Week show. In fact, they first met when Christian collaborated with Sam on the costumes for his music video, I'm Not Here to Make Friends. And it seemed like all things were going smoothly, as they were last pictured together on December 14th at a New York party, but have since parted ways. Mail Online revealed the couple split, and Sam is back on the app Raya in hopes of finding a new partner. And if you don't know what Raya is, it's a celebrity dating app, so if you're single and dating Sam Smith is on your 2024 bingo card, go download the app. And for our number 9, we have Offset and Cardi B. These two began dating in 2017, but that wasn't without any ups and downs throughout the years, as there was several breakup rumors related to Offset's alleged cheating. Since they are both huge music stars, they often appear at events such as the Grammys alongside one another, and of course they welcomed their daughter Culture into the world back in 2018, and their son Wave was born in 2021. And the reason why breakup rumors began flooding was all thanks to Instagram, as fans noticed the two unfollowed each other on social media. And on December 11th of 2023, just days away from the new year, Cardi confirmed on Instagram Live that her and Offset did separate, and she wasn't sure how to tell her fans this news, but did want to start off 2024 open and fresh. She also added that she was curious for a new life and a new beginning, and shares her excitement for the new journey. And just weeks before this announcement, there was a whole drama surrounding cheating rumors once again, but this time it seems to be the end of the two rappers' love story for good, at least for now. And for number 8, we have Rachel Lindsay and Brian Absolo. Many tuned into their televisions to watch and catch up on their latest episode of the popular dating show, The Bachelorette. Bachelorette as they ship different contestants in hopes their romance carries on past the show. Back on season 21 of The Bachelor, Lindsay gained fame as she was the first black lead on any franchise of The Bachelor when she was chosen to be the Bachelorette in 2017, and that is when she chose Bryan. And after 4 years of marriage, the two decided to part ways. Court records showed that Bryan filed to end their marriage on January 2nd due to irreconcilable differences, and on social media he wrote, "After more than 4 years of marriage, Rachel and I have made a difficult decision to part ways and start a new life. My parents have been married forever and I'm a family man, but sometimes loving yourself and your partner means you must let go." And Rachel has not responded to the news yet. And for number 7, we have Meadow Walker and Lewis Thornton Allen. The late Fast and Furious star Paul Walker's daughter Meadow and her husband Lewis announced in a co-statement on Instagram on December 27th, literally a few days before the new year, that they have decided to end things. The statement read, "Statement from the two of us. After 3 wonderful years of marriage, we have come to the agreement to amicably separate. This is truly a united decision and we sincerely hope that everyone can respect our wishes for privacy. We maintain mutual love and respect for one another and will continue to support each other." And their wedding back in 2021 made headlines after Vin Diesel was the one to walk Meadow down the aisle, which warmed many hearts. And for number 6, we have Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater. This couple instantly got hate and still do ever since they were first spotted together. Although they have not split, at least that we know of, a lot of people all over social media, especially TikTok, have shared their thoughts on this relationship, as many predict it'll probably end this year, especially since the relationship was built on top of crumbled foundation. And this is because a lot of people believe the timeline on how the two separated from their partners and then got together was questionable, as many labeled Ariana and Ethan homewreckers, especially because Ethan and his former wife Lily J, who was his high school sweetheart, welcomed a child with him just a year prior. And according to sources, Ariana would always hang out with the couple and tell them how their baby made her want one of her own. Although Ethan and Ariana have been quiet on this conversation, Lily J told the media that Ariana was not a girl's girl and now her family is in collateral damage. While drama aside, the two were spotted days before Christmas having dinner in New York with Ariana's father, and they dined at Ariana's family's favorite Italian restaurant, and that was after they watched Ethan in his new broadcast musical Spamalot. What do you think? And for number 5, we have Zac Brown and Kelly Yahtzee. This country singer was romantically seeing actress and model Kelly Yahtzee, and in 2022 he popped the question in Hawaii, and according to one source, it was a very intimate and the couple kept things private. They ended up tying the knot in August of 2023, and just 4 short months later, there was already breakup rumors. And this was because many realized Kelly deactivated her Instagram and then reactivated it again, but used her maiden name and also removed all traces of Zac off her page. And on December 29th, the two shared a joint statement to multiple outlets reading, "We are in the process of divorce. Our mutual respect for one another remains. We wish each other the best and will always appreciate our time together." And for number 4, we have Mariah Carey and Bryan Tonica. These two met as Bryan was a dancer and choreographer who has worked alongside Mariah for many years. But in 2016, that is when their relationship became public, and this was shortly after Mariah's engagement to billionaire James Packer ended. Mariah and Bryan would post each other on social media, be spotted on dates, and of course, no relationship is perfect, and they had a brief breakup in April of 2017. And TMZ reported that Mariah broke things off with Bryan due to several issues, including jealousy and expenses. A source from People also said the two's relationship was just a way for Mariah to be distracted after her breakup, but just a month later, they were spotted kissing and going on dates once again. But just a day after Christmas of 2023, Bryan confirmed his split from the singer in a statement on Instagram that read, "With mixed emotions, I share this personal update regarding my amicable separation from Mariah Carey after 7 extraordinary years together. Our decision to embark on different paths is mutual as we navigate these separate journeys. We do so with profound respect and an overwhelming sense of gratitude for the valuable time we've shared. The memories we've created and the artistic collaborations are etched in my heart forever." So maybe all Mariah wants for Christmas is someone new. And at number 3, we have Jessica Biel and Justin Timberlake. We all know 2023 was a huge year for Justin Timberlake, especially after his ex, Britney Spears, released her memoir with information that the public didn't know before, and that included her falling pregnant with Justin's child when the two were 19. Although Britney pictured herself one day having a family with Justin, this was just earlier than she had
anticipated, but Justin wasn't so happy about the pregnancy and told her he didn't want to be a dad. She ultimately did end up terminating her pregnancy, which she shares regret for. And following this news, Justin faced a ton of backlash, with people even flooding his wife's social media about how they felt like Justin and the news with Britney was tragic. While celebrity psychic Adam Norton spoke to Celebrity Tidbit about his predictions on this couple. Although the two have been married for 10 years and together for 16, according to Adam, they are on the top of the list of celebrity divorces. He also predicted the separation between them will be quite toxic. But of course, this is just Adam's prediction, so I guess we'll see if he has it right or wrong. And for number 2, we have AJ McLean and Rochelle McLean. The Backstreet Boys member AJ and his wife Rochelle announced they were getting a divorce, so I guess he really wanted it that way. Okay, bad time for reference, but the two met in 2008 as Rochelle was a hair and makeup stylist and waitress, and although she initially turned him down, he asked her out again in 2009 and it was their first date. He ended up proposing to Rochelle a year later on his birthday, and they tied the knot in December of 2011 at the Beverly Hills Hotel in a gothic themed ceremony. And in 2012, they welcomed their daughter Elliot, who was born as Ava but decided to change her name because there was too many Avas and the name didn't speak to her, and in 2017, they welcomed their second daughter Lyric. But in March of 2023, after nearly 11 years of marriage, the two confirmed to US Weekly that they were temporarily separating but were hoping they could reconcile in the future. They admitted marriage is hard but worth it and mutually decided to separate temporarily to work on themselves and on their marriage with hopes of building a stronger future, and that was their plan. And in November 2023, AJ shared that the two were still friendly and working on their relationship. Although they lived separately, they were in couples therapy as well as individual therapy, and on an episode of a podcast with Cheryl Burke, he stated, "We just have to rebuild something that was never there from the beginning." And on January 1st of 2024, they shared a joint statement that they decided to officially end their marriage, and they shared their main focus now is moving forward in the healthiest way possible with friendship and co-parenting their daughters most importantly. And in our number 1 spot, we have Kathy Griffin and Randy Bick. The comedian began dating Randy in 2011, but the two broke up for a brief period in November of 2018, and in April of 2019, they were spotted once again together and confirmed they were indeed seeing each other once again. And that same year, the two announced their engagement and even shared how the dress Kathy wore during the wedding was the same dress she wore on their first date. But just recently, Kathy filed for divorce from Rick, and this was just days before what would have been their 4-year wedding anniversary. But the date listed for their separation was December 22nd of 2023, and according to insiders, Kathy split with Randy after he became too much of a homebody and stopped sharing her enthusiasm for life. Some sources say that Kathy felt like divorce was the only option if she were to ever feel like herself again after she began to grow apart away from her husband. And as unfortunate and hard as this was for her, she felt like this was the only way to feel like herself again as they began growing apart instead of growing with each other.